Hi, this is Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Robbie with Believe in the Run.
And this is Megan with Believe in the Run.
And you're listening to The Drop, our weekly podcast about running a little bit and then other stuff. And we get into talking about stuff. And this is an exciting week because we have lots of stuff to talk about. We got new Nike Vaporflies. We've got Cherry Blossom coming up. We've got...
Well, Boston's coming up.
I've been eating overnight oats. There's tons of stuff.
Holos.
Yeah. Get ready for those things.
Holos.
Yeah, Holos.
Oh, is that supposed to be a play on whole oats?
Oh.
No.
I don't know. I just thought it was
But
a European
it's not
brand.
even, is it oats or is it?
I don't even
It's
think...
muesli.
What is muesli?
That's a European...
Dude, it sounds like something that comes out of your body during a surgery.
Yeah, we removed 2 pounds of muesli. The cyst was huge.
Yeah.
No, Robbie, I think it's not even an American company, though.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if they're trying to play on
This isn't even a sponsorship, and we're giving Holos a shout out.
Well, they did send us a bunch of muesli to eat. Overnight muesli.
And I don't mind if we like a product, talking about it. We've done some favors for products that we haven't loved that we've we've given shout outs to. When we like a product and they send us something,
Yeah.
let's give it some praise.
We're runners, and we share what we like.
So this week's episode is again sponsored by Lagoon Pillows. Like I said, we use them literally every night. They're our favorite. They, if you go to lagoonsleep.com, they have a whole quiz on there to put in your preferences. They shoot you out. Here's what we suggest. And yeah.
Is it a pop quiz or a quiz? Because pop quiz, I don't want to be surprised by my sleep preferences.
Well, it's
I could just put a computer in front of your face, and then I guess that's
Scary.
the pop.
Yeah.
That's
I don't
the
want
pop quiz.
I don't want to fail that quiz and have bad sleep for the
Here's
next
the thing:
year.
I don't think you can fail.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
I will tell you though, since we got back from Japan, that's when I really noticed the importance of sleep because I was off, and running without sleep has been really difficult, and it's hard to perform your best. So why not give yourself the advantage? It might be that little thing that's missing from your training is the comfortable thing. And one of the things I like about it, they have like different things. Like if you sleep hot, you can get a cooling pillow. If you like, that's part of the quiz.
Okay.
And it's also like we're all trying to get that like 1%, 2%, 3%. But if you're not sleeping, you're getting
0%.
Yeah. So
Maybe negative, probably negative
Yeah.
percent.
You are. So get that drug pillow and put it under your head.
yeah. So if you want to grab one, you can go to lagoonsleep.com/believe. The code BELIEVE will get you 15% off.
Ooh, I
So
like it.
And we'll put the link in the description for you.
yeah,
Perfect.
we'll make it real easy. I just like the idea of overnight oats or overnight muesli, whatever. It's like, you put it in the fridge and then it's ready when you get finished your run.
What does it transform into overnight?
Did you not do it?
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I forgot him
Okay.
Oh,
at the
man.
office.
I'll let Meg. How would you describe it? I would say it's like a pudding texture with more
Oats.
oats and like there's some nuts in it and stuff.
Okay.
It's
Oats.
not my favorite. Like a cold.
Yeah, it's cold, so it's not great for the winter, but
Yeah.
Mm.
I also find they're bitter, but Megan doesn't. But I haven't been. She's been adding maple syrup. I haven't.
that's the real key.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do that.
Yeah.
More sugar. Why
Right.
not?
Just add carbs on carbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I guess I'll have to try out a flavor of theirs. I forget what kind I got, but I'm interested in it. It's like kind of like a gremlin where after midnight it changes into something else.
Kind of.
And you put water in it, right?
No.
Oh, you don't?
You can, but they suggest milk or like almond milk or whatever you use in your coffee.
Put almond milk on it and transforms into
I used dairy milk.
All right. Anyway, we're still talking about this and people have already turned it off.
Yeah,
So
nobody
sorry
cares.
about that, y'all.
I mean, typically, what do you have for breakfast? Like, what's a normal?
me?
Yeah, what's a normal breakfast for Robbie? Like, I just finished my run.
Yeah. I
Coming in.
eat those, the Siggy's yogurt, the Icelandic yogurt,
Okay, so protein, that's good.
and then try to put some protein powder in that.
Whoa,
Double dose.
look at you,
And
science, like chef.
if I remember to get granola at the store, I'll put that on it. But then I just end up eating way too much granola because it's so sugary. It's so good.
I do love granola.
It's more like then I eat granola with yogurt on. It's like the opposite, the inverse of it.
Like milk with your coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
I got you. I'm following.
But that's usually what I eat after.
That's it. That's all. A thing of yogurt, and
And I'll put some like peanut butter with it, so more protein. I would buy almond butter, but I'm cheap. I can't keep doing the almond butter thing.
I don't even like almond butter.
I'm not sure that it's that much better for you anyway.
It's not that much sugar in
Right.
like peanut butter.
We can get peanut butter with no sugar.
Right. And like the natural peanut. Yeah.
The kind you have
which
to
is
stir.
Which is what I try to.
Yeah.
That's what I try to do. But not always. Sometimes you go to BJ's. I can't ever say that on here. I just feel weird. Because people.
Every time.
And the thing is, you can't. I don't even know what BJ stands for.
It's a big box store. Which does that exist in other countries? It seems like an American thing.
Big box stores?
Yeah, like Costco.
No, I don't think other countries have resources. Like they go and there's like that
We're
one
so
shop
blessed.
with one roll of toilet paper.
Yeah.
And they're like,
It's all
this is the big buy.
It's just bodegas.
Yeah, you get a whole roll of toilet paper instead of one sheet.
Yeah. Anyways, so what were we talking about? Oh, peanut butter and almond
just
butter.
breakfast in
All right,
general.
so Meg, I know what you have, but what do you have for breakfast?
It's actually not that dissimilar from Robbie. I normally do Greek yogurt, oatmeal, and some maple syrup. It's kind of
wow.
like
That's
the
pretty. Yeah.
What was our staple for a long time? We used to do smoothies, and then we switched to the bake that Feathers has a recipe for, which I don't understand why we don't have anymore. And that I would have a yogurt with the bake and some maple syrup.
That stuff is good. That bake. I've made that before.
It was
peanut
good.
butter oatmeal bake.
Yeah, and she puts the peanut butter protein in it, so we're getting the protein from the yogurt, the protein from the bake, and then the sweetness from the maple syrup. And that was a good breakfast. Every once in a while, she'd cut up some fruit and put it on there, which I really liked. But now, like, it's gone south. But I do have.
You're just a geriatric now.
If I don't make every meal in the house, Thomas loses his mind.
But I did. She does. Like this morning, I was able to, before my run, carb load with a Megan's homemade bagel. There's only one left, by the way.
I wanted. Oh, really? I was trying to get in on that on Saturday after a long run, but I guess it was too early to the party. You were still baking them.
Yeah. You guys
Yeah.
walked in and I hadn't even put in the oven yet. So.
I've considered coming back to your house and knocking on the door for one.
I would have given you one.
Yeah. And dude, they're so good. Here's what kills me though. My youngest,
Yeah.
he'll cut it in half. What did he put on it?
He took like shredded cheese.
And then he puts it in the microwave. This is a fresh baked bagel.
It basically ruins
Dude,
it.
that's a crime in some territories.
Megan
It
has
hurt
just
my soul.
Spent hours making these bagels, and the kid just throws it in the microwave.
and definitely in Brooklyn, that's a crime.
Yeah.
I think anywhere that would be a crime.
And just cheese on it, and then nothing else.
And turkey meat.
Oh yeah, he likes his meat hot.
I mean, that's.
so
I mean, I
gross.
guess if you think about it, that's basically just a bagel sandwich. That's not uncommon.
Right, but you're microwaving it turns
Yeah.
your bagel into like clay.
Yeah, I don't know about the microwave. Put it in a toaster oven, maybe.
Yeah, he doesn't like them toast. He doesn't like it toasted.
It's just, you know.
Are you a toaster person?
I do.
With a bagel.
Even
Yes.
though they're fresh out of the oven,
Really?
every once in a while, like when May first started making them, I would double up. I get one that just came out of the oven, and just eat it like a savage, and then I would cut one in half, toast it, and make a sandwich.
Okay.
But this morning, I was able to grab one of her bagels before my workout, and I have to say, my workout went pretty well. So I think there's some magic in there.
Probably why.
Yeah, I saw that you did a workout, Robbie.
Yeah, I did. I mean, you inspired me, I guess.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Well, you said you were doing
What
800.
inspiration.
800? Or no, you were doing mile
repeat,
repeat.
yeah.
I thought that was a little too much for me, so I stepped it down to 800s. I finished with 1 mile repeat.
Well, I think
Is it a repeat if you just do one?
Oh man, that's a good point. Technically, I started out with a warm-up mile, so I repeated a mile.
There you go. The crazy thing is that I think I had 800 last week. And I think that you are, like you did a slightly shorter long run than me this past week. So you're actually on path
Yeah, I'm just
to do your plan. Like you're doing less, which I think is going to work for you because you don't need as much recovery time as I do.
possibly.
So I think that I'm going to go in and I'll finish up my hard workouts 2 weeks before or a week
before Boston.
Yeah. And then have that taper time where you're going to have less of a taper time.
A week. Yeah, I'll have a week or so, 8 days. But yeah, I felt actually really good today. I didn't know so the only thing was like my pace. I didn't know what I was going, because I still have my watch set to the marathon, which was just lap pace, and I didn't set the workout up on my watch, so I was just, I would do like a minute cool down jog in between sets, and so my pace was, never knew what pace I was running. I think I was running like a 650.
That's good.
Or 7 because then I looked back at it.
Is that what you want?
I don't know.
Or you don't care?
I was just trying to run faster.
See, that was my thing.
Fast.
I had a workout today, mile repeats, but the real ones, like where you go mile after mile after mile. And I purposely didn't want to look at, because like my running's been all over the place. I'm just like, I'll just run, Meg said, run hard effort. So I was like running hard effort. Turns out I hit all my, like she gets a little report on the dot of how you did the workout, and it has like a target, and all 3 of my dots were like
bullseye.
Pop, pop.
Nice.
Yeah. Nailed it.
So I'm starting to believe that don't look at your watch.
Yeah, it's just pointless. I mean, just go by effort, I guess. Everyone says that, but no one does it.
Well, I never trust my effort, because there's days that you go out for a run and you're like, I must be going 7s, and you're like running 9s.
Definitely.
But that's the point. It's like you're not going to feel great every day, so you can't get in your head about the numbers.
Yeah. That is the point.
Today I had to turn around though, Robbie.
Oh yeah.
I went out the door. So my first quarter of a mile, I went out the door, and I'd used a lever, and it jacks your shorts up real high, and it gave me kind of like chafing.
Yeah, kind of, or did.
It gave me chafing.
Yeah.
Like probably the worst I've ever had. And it's nothing against the lever or the shorts, because I've done it before and not had the chafing. It just, that day, maybe I was taking too much weight off or something. It was jacking me up. But so that was like a week ago speed training that this happened, and I'm still suffering from the consequences. So I went out, and I was like, I don't even know if I can do this. That old thing where people used to twist your wrist.
Yeah. A rug burn. Just call it a rug burn.
Yeah. It felt like a rug burn. I was like, I don't think I can run.
Mm-hmm.
So I turned around, went back to the house, took chamois butter that's normally for cycling in your your bike shorts or whatever, and just caked like when you have boys. Yeah. When you had to change the diaper and they had diaper rash, and you would just like spackle the whole.
Yeah. Or just sunscreen or whatever. Just lathering that.
Yeah. That's how much was down there. And then I went and did the workout, and I'm glad I did, because I almost bailed and just said, maybe I just need a rest day. I was really tired. So I love a day like that, when you go out and you think that there's no way I'm going to be able to do this workout. There's no way I'm going to hit these paces. And then you get back, and I didn't look at my watch, and I was like, I'm just going to give it effort. And I nailed it.
I mean, that's awesome. I could tell you could work out, because you were in a chipper mood this morning.
Tom's whole aura changes.
It's so weird. It's like, if you ever lost your leg, you basically just, I think you would just implode.
Yeah.
I don't know. Those spring legs, I think I would have to go for it. I mean, I don't know that I could do it. I can't tell if, how do you know how much effort it takes to run with those? I've seen people run, and they seem like they're giving a hell of an effort.
I don't know. Maybe we should have someone on that can answer that question.
Yeah,
I think that would be a good idea.
Like, I would love it if it was someone who previously had limbs and ran, and then somehow,
like you can make a comparison.
Yeah, so that like he could give us an idea of what that would be like. I'm
trying to see who's that.
The woman? Guy from Texas also.
No, there's the runner Jackie Hunt. I don't know if she, let's see, pro-run cancer. Yeah. She says she's a cancer survivor. Maybe I don't know. I'm not going to speculate. But she would be cool to have on. Anyways.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Meg, what's up with your running?
Everything's going pretty well. Still riding that real thin line. The danger zone that, very tired, but also feeling fit. So we'll roll with it.
Her workout today, Robbie, did you see the pace?
No, I'm going to look right now, though.
It's ridiculous.
And Boston is a goal race for you.
That's the plan.
Are you announcing your goal publicly or just privately within your head?
I feel like I've thrown it out there before.
I can't remember.
I'm still trying to break 245.
245.
I didn't know if that was this race.
It's all races
every race,
right now.
Anytime she lines up, except for Tokyo.
What was Houston 247?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, I forgot.
Oh my
You did better
gosh,
in
dude.
Houston than the previous Boston.
It was technically a PR. It was like less than a minute.
And that
but
was
yeah.
a warm day, so depending on weather, I think you could be set
Definitely.
up really sweet.
That's the thing I was thinking about though. Like Boston's such a crapshoot. Like it could be 90. It could be amazing.
So there's,
It was
Yeah.
kind of like our long run this past weekend
Yeah.
that I did not dress well for because it said it
Dude.
wasn't going to rain and then poured.
That was something.
this morning, Megan says to me, "You're just running Boston for fun, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, but I want to do well." And she's like, "Yeah, but you should go to all the fun events because I don't want you like trying to like just sit and do, it's a great weekend. Go have all the fun."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Okay."
I'm planning on that.
But Megan's planning on
Like
if
I'm
she
gonna do
doesn't have to
I'm gonna
be-
do the fun stuff like with New Balance and Asics that we have planned, but like I'm not going to all those parties.
yeah.
like you and I and Jarrett. We'll go to the baseball game, right?
Oh, I'm going to the Red Sox game for sure.
Who are they playing?
I'm gonna
Did you find out?
boo them to the ends of the earth.
Did we find out who they're playing?
The Angels, little Mike Trout action.
I don't know, man. Do you have a? I'd root for Boston over the Angels.
Dude, I can't root for the Red Sox as an Orioles fan. That's a cardinal sin. Yankees, Red Sox,
So
never.
that'd be a question for you because we just watched March Madness. So if your team, I always feel like if my team gets beat by someone in our division, then I root for that team. Like if they get knocked out, like say,
Oh, there's no way. I can never root for. At one point in my life, I had an actual hatred for the Yankees and Red Sox. I've since don't care as much, but
you didn't have as much going on in life. No kids, no wife.
I think I had a wife, but no kids. I just remember this one time at the Orioles game against the Red Sox, and there was, clearly I had a few beers beforehand, and there was a Red Sox fan getting carted off by the security for doing whatever, and I just like turned around, just like gave him the finger as he's walking past, and security was like pointing, he's like, sit down. And I'm like, whatever. Just like, they just made me so mad. And Yankees fans, they're always the worst. They come down from, because especially in the 2000s when the Yankees were like crazy good. They've always been good, but there was that run there for a while where they were just late 90s, early 2000s.
Jeter.
Yeah. Jeter, Rivera, all them. And they would come down from New Jersey and New York because you could get a ticket for $10 to an Orioles game because
And
they're
it's
so
a
bad.
beautiful stadium.
Yeah.
And it's like the town, like it's not that hard to get here from New York.
No, it's just a couple hours. And so
I think we have a beautiful city.
It is. And
I love it that people come down for their teams.
Okay. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, go ahead.
They would pack out the stadium. No, just you saying you love when they come down.
Well, they're bringing their money.
True.
I look at it as an improvement for Baltimore, and they're seeing that this city isn't the scary wire that they see on TV.
True, but Yankees fans coming down, it's like an infestation that nobody asks for.
They're the worst.
No, they're not. The Steelers.
As someone,
we're gonna get everybody to hate us.
I dated a Yankees fan, and I can confirm they are the worst.
Wow. Yeah, thank you. I didn't need you to confirm that, but I'm glad you said it.
Yeah.
I will say when I used to work back when I was in PA, in Hershey, there's a lot of tourists from New Jersey, New York that would come, and I worked at a hotel waiting tables. Super obnoxious, but I will say they're really good tippers.
There you go.
Across the board, pretty much.
Pretty
so
good.
it's kind of just like it's how they are, but they're still gonna hook you up.
That's nice.
So I guess I'll give them that.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's talk about our long run from last Saturday because that was crazy.
It was crazy, and we should get into that.
I guess we should talk about the on Cloudsurfer event.
We got to talk about that, but I also wanted to mention the car safety.
Okay.
got-
That's right.
I got hit by a car last week.
I thought you meant you were like we went to talk airbags and seatbelts.
Yeah, I was like,
No,
that's
I forgot to mention it on last week's podcast, but I got hit by a car right near our house where Robbie and I and Megan all live in a small area close to each other. But yeah, and it was bizarre. And then today,
Well, you should probably like elaborate on that a little
Okay.
bit because it sounds like you just got smashed into the windshield.
so picture a 4-way stop, and I'm running across Conkling, which is a bigger street.
Yeah.
It's almost like 4 widths wide.
Right.
But I'm in the crosswalk, doing the way that you should be, following the rules. I'm wearing bright clothing. And I get not the closest one, which would be the car. Like maybe he just didn't see me. He's coming, but I'm going to the further side. So this guy has to stop.
Yeah.
And I'm already halfway through the crosswalk. And I'm like, he's rolling up really fast. And I'm like, he's going to stop. And you know where you do that trust thing? Like you're like, he's got to stop.
Yeah. And you're daring him. So you're still running. And you're like, I kind of hope he hits me. Kind of not.
Yeah. Like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah.
And like, you feel like big.
Yeah, no, I feel like I do that way too much. It's gonna bite me in the ass.
And I get like right in front of him, and he does that thing where you tap your brakes like to pretend you're stopping, and then you accelerate
He'll
again.
glance and
I don't know how he didn't see me. Like I am dead center of his car.
I was thinking like, how that bar comes down? I don't know. You frame your car between the window and the windshield. Sometimes you don't see someone when they're in that
I don't
spot.
know. It was a white Chevy. If you have a white Chevy and you know if there's a blind spot. But I get
probably a Cobalt.
I get like I'm dead center of his car, and he revs the engine, and I'm like, is he just being a douche? And then the car starts moving forward, so it hits my calf as it's starting up, and I go sideways, and like a wrestling move, drop the elbow, the hand,
Thor's hammer,
right onto his hood, boom,
I like
nailed
that.
it. He jumps like I don't think he did see me.
He probably didn't.
But the guy that was at the other stop.
I mean, I doubt he actually saw you, but he just didn't. He didn't take the time to actually look.
Yeah,
right.
He's probably on his phone. The guy that was at the other stop, who was stopping and waiting nicely for me as well. He just did one of those, I don't know, emojis. Like, what the hell's that guy doing?
Yeah.
And I was like, and I just kept running.
I hope you put a dent in his hood.
Dude, the amount of force that I came
You think his
down
airbag popped?
Oh, that would have been. I don't think it did because I turned around and looked at him.
Okay.
And the guy did kind of look like he was in shock.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so that, and then this morning, this one might have been my fault.
Okay.
I almost got hit again, but I was going out, and it was one of those times where the light turned red for the cars going one direction, but it wasn't red for the ones going the other direction.
Yeah.
And I ran out and almost got nailed.
Oh, man.
On Boston?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But here's the crazy thing. You know how they have that one like right-hand turn that comes off of like...
Was it the intersection at Target?
No, it's the one that's
Across
that
from
one
the
is
park.
dangerous.
That
too.
one's so confusing. There's too many.
You got to be
things
careful
happening.
there. This is the one that's by Kissling's, and
Okay.
so there's
that
that
one's
hard turn there.
yeah.
So not only am I only getting hit here, the car that's here is driving into the sun.
Yep.
And it has that kind of like, how they don't really stop there. And he was driving in the sun, and I was running, and I was like, it was like almost a double whammy. But yeah,
wow.
I'm here. I made it.
Okay. How do you feel, Megan? You don't care.
He's alive.
I could
it's
see
fine.
I could see it in your eyes.
Should have been like insurance annuity.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty good right about now.
Jackpot. Yeah, our run on Saturday, we did. I was gonna get up early, and then I'm always looking for ways to procrastinate. So I asked you what time you were leaving. You said 8:30. I'm like, perfect. I don't want to get up at 5:30, and so I met Jarrett at the house, and I have to say, this is one of the first times Thomas has ever been late to something.
Oh.
And I'm gonna put that in my back pocket for later.
Yeah, but I wasn't really. So I had to get 4 miles done before I met up with Jarrett and Robbie, and I wasn't really paying attention to what time it was because I just was like, okay, I got to finish my 4 miles, and I got out a little bit late, but I got there at like 8:45, so they had to wait for like 15 minutes.
Oh.
I mean,
that's a long time when you're trying to run.
I was going to say that is a long time when you're trying to start running.
But anyways, so we ended up starting out, and it was pretty nice starting out. It was cloudy, whatever.
As a matter of fact, I took off my rain jacket and put on the long sleeve shirt because I was like, it's not really raining, and I don't need a rain jacket.
Yeah, that proved not to be true.
Yeah.
Because I wore my John G. Rain Runner jacket, which
turns out
apparently that lasts for a little bit before not becoming a rain jacket. And It's supposed to be 100% waterproof. It's a couple years old. It's probably at this point blown out. And then I was just wearing a singlet underneath because I'll overheat if I wear anything else. So
Robbie run hot.
And then it started pouring. What, about mile 6? You were doing 20 total. Jared and I were doing 16 with you.
I think for me it was a little bit later than, well, it would have been like mile 10.
Yeah.
And it started coming down.
And it was hard.
But it wasn't just that. It was cold. It was 38 degrees, heavy rain with wind.
And here's the thing is I checked the radar before I went out for the run because I was like, and it said 20% chance only not until 11 a.m. So I was like, oh, I'll be finished the run by then.
For some reason, I think my cheap weather app that Megan always busts me
that's
for
a piece of trash.
actually did say it was going to rain, and that's why I wore it.
All I wore was the Tracksmith base layer.
Uh-huh.
And once that thing is soaked,
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter.
At one point I was like, I might get hypothermia and die out here.
I did feel like I was like, this is too cold.
Yeah.
Like I'm wet.
Because you were soaked.
And I'm cold when we were going over the bridge.
Yeah.
So also, okay, let's get over this, people. We have been telling lies because Robbie's ankle twisting isn't because he has weak ankles. The dude runs the worst. Like, so we're running down this one street and I'm like, I'm fine because I like to shoot straight out towards the stadiums. I don't care if there's a little bit of traffic. I stay to the side. We're going down, and Robbie's like, this is too much traffic. Let's go up the street. So
that was a mistake.
We cut up.
That was a mistake.
Onto cobblestones. And then he's like, okay, let's go this way. So we shift over, and there's like construction and all this stuff. And I was like, I think I actually audibly said, Robbie, stop.
That was a slight misstep.
But then Robbie takes us on this, and I actually really liked the route, and it made the 20 miles interesting. However, I would never want you to run this by yourself.
No, it's not a good area per se.
I would never go
Well,
over
what's
there.
dangerous about it is that there's nobody out there.
Yeah, so you run behind the casino, which is actually kind of like, probably shouldn't run back there by yourself. In general, there is a running
The
path.
trail, though? Yeah, I've done that.
But it's still like, there's not many people around.
No, I did it with Jared. I wouldn't do it alone.
Yeah. And then we ran over to Cherry Hill down that back street, which is real crazy.
Because you have train tracks to one side and like a fence and stuff on the other side. So like if a car is coming and they hit you or something, you're just...
Yeah, or if someone wanted to jump you or something, you literally, you can't get out because it's almost a half mile of like no exit.
All right.
So don't run that. It's called Oldham Street.
But while we're running, I'm noticing that we are finding every pothole in this city.
It's the worst road ever. I forgot how bad that road was. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, Robbie's doing this on purpose. Like he is. No, not that you were taking us that route. I'm saying your twisted ankles.
Oh.
I think sometimes when you don't feel like running, you're like, I'll just go run this route and bust myself.
I actually don't think I do it as much on those sections because I'm so mindful of where I'm stepping. It's when I'm just like stepping off a curb and looking for, when I'm not looking at the ground or just, and I hit a weird spot. That's usually when it happens. By the way, I've
Don't say it.
thought about
Don't
this.
say it.
It's been a while. Six months.
Tape them tonight.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, that was, I thought the same thing probably around mile 10. I was like, I don't actually know if I can do 16 at the, what's
I couldn't
happening.
feel my hands anymore.
Yeah,
you really
that was the
you couldn't,
worst.
you know when you can't move your arms because they're so stiff from in the same position.
Okay, so I'm like, my shoulder is killing me. And Robbie's like, Robbie, and I'm just thinking it in my head. And then Robbie goes, my shoulders are killing me. And I go, mine too. And he goes, it's probably because we were at the on event walking through New York City with backpacks on.
Definitely. Because they heard it like the next morning. And that was, we walked over a mile in Manhattan with duffel bags on our shoulders.
But the bridge that we were crossing, so it's pouring rain. I can't feel my hands. I'm only wearing a merino long sleeve, totally soaked. The wind is blowing. You're running over a bridge. You know it's always windy on a bridge. It's on metal plates as we go over.
Some spots
of metal plates. Cadillac comes by, and he leans over into the section to puddle us.
Did he?
Yeah, and he puddled all three of us. And
Sometimes I feel like that feels kind of nice though. I don't know why.
Dirty
I know
Baltimore
it's disgusting.
street water.
I know it's disgusting, but I don't know.
Needles flying up.
Seriously.
Yeah, that was, and then luckily, I did think about going home if it was going to keep doing that, but then the rain stopped and I warmed up a little bit.
That was a problem. The only way home was
We were so far out
to run.
Yeah.
Like there was like, how would have you gone home any faster?
I don't
Uber?
know if I could have. Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah, no, we were on a mission at that point.
But we did it. We got it done. And the other crazy thing was that I forgot all my gels. So I was at mile 6 about to take my gel and didn't have any. And maybe you can help me with this. I felt great the whole time, which is weird.
It sounds like
You
you
just
carb
had enough
loaded.
carbs.
Yeah.
I did have a very large burrito the night before.
There you go.
So do you think that could have helped?
And it was only 16 miles. Like you weren't going and we weren't like crushing the pace.
I mean, I usually feel pretty terrible around like 10 if that happens.
So remember when I was like, is there my last gel? When I was like, okay, I can't find my last gel. And I thought it was because my fingers were cold and I couldn't feel it.
And I was feeling up your leg.
Yeah, Robbie's like, it's there.
I was like, let me keep searching, Thomas.
Yeah, he's like, let me reach in there. And but it was funny because I did the dumbest thing when I went inside to take the jacket off and put the long sleeve on.
Oh.
Not only did I make a mistake doing that, but I had a gel in the pocket. So I was like, oh, don't leave that gel with the jacket. I took it out and put it on the counter.
That's something I would do 100%.
And then I went back and I'm like, oh, there's the gel on the counter. There's the jacket over here. The gel's on the counter because I reminded myself not to leave it.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's what I did. My gels were on the kitchen table, literally. So that was, honestly, I felt good. That was nice because remember last week on the podcast, I was like, my legs feel horrible.
Yeah.
And they still did until last Friday. It was nice to know that my legs
looked smooth.
Didn't feel horrible anymore.
Like I have to say, I know we're going to talk about the Vaporfly here as we go. These colors in an overcast day,
they are nice.
I was like watching, so it wasn't like I was always, focused on Robbie, but
You can
with
admit
these
it.
shoes,
like you were.
You
with
can admit
these
it.
shoes, I was definitely like
Checking them out?
Yeah, I was like, wow, those look gorgeous. We'll talk about these in a little bit, but every detail looked like fire when we were in like these gray skies and these hot pink.
It's
with
nice.
the
I also felt like that was like really good Boston training. Like
Yeah,
the
'cause we
weather,
could get a
you
day
had
like that.
the
That's
heat,
what I was
you
telling
had the
you.
rain.
When in the middle of the run, I was like,
Yeah.
you don't know. This could be it. Although you didn't talk at all the entire run, which
That's
was
Thomas
weird.
running.
That's me.
But I've run with you before where you talk.
Jarrett was talking a bunch, so I just listened.
He wasn't either. And usually I try to end the conversation
Well, I felt
whenever
like
he
I was-
starts one.
I felt like I was just listening to you guys the whole time.
By the way, when I got home, my arm was still kind of frozen. Went to make coffee. Couldn't really feel what I was doing, so I just went to set the coffee pod down and just broke it on the counter. So then I didn't have coffee.
That's
that
a
was
bummer.
that was awesome.
I would have immediately
That's
gone to the
unfortunate.
Starbucks.
Yeah.
I went to Rofo.
Okay. You know
Not
what?
me.
I gotta say something. I can be a little snobby about coffee sometimes,
Yeah.
but the Rofo coffee isn't bad.
It's good. Yeah. It's surprisingly good.
Yeah.
They do a good job.
You can't just say Rofo coffee. Isn't
Oh.
there like a million options there?
Well, no, because they have Royal Farms coffee, and
Mm-hmm.
they actually grind the beans for you when you order your coffee. So you press a button, it grinds the beans, brews it right there.
All right.
You get a fresh brewed cup of coffee.
Yeah.
and it's pretty. It's pretty good.
By the way, there's people working on our brick at our office, so if you hear knocking in the background,
That's just
it's
them.
all week long, so we can't do anything about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show. Brick Bro Joe is the one doing the work. A little shout out to Brick Bro Joe.
Is that the name?
Yeah,
That's a good name for a brick company.
his name is Joe too, so it's nice.
Brick Bro Joe.
He's been very courteous and responsive to message and stuff, so I appreciate him.
Yeah, which getting someone to do that in the brick industry is
Any industry these days.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. Megan, you long run, man. You crushed.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, minus the numbness, not being able to feel my hands and stuff.
Robbie, what would you do to be able to go out and run an easy
6:45?
22 miles at
It was not easy. It was hard. I did like a workout in the middle of it.
I was trying to look at it here.
Yeah, the weather didn't help at all.
What
but
would
again,
I do? I don't think I
like-
would do anything, but all right.
Yeah.
Still sounds terrible. 644, 22 miles.
Yeah.
And that's a training run. So there's the easy miles in there.
And yeah,
Her easy miles are like 720.
he did the loop-de-loop of M&T Bank Stadium.
Yeah, so that's when it started to pour.
Oh.
And
I
I
also
was
find that loop hard. It's just at enough of an angle that it feels uphill when you
well,
go
I
around.
just like when you're in like the hard efforts, if I can I know I don't have to stop and I can just do loops around somewhere, and that's where they hit. So I did like
That's
3 or 4 loops around it.
makes sense.
But yeah, that's when it started to pour, and I was like, I was probably the furthest point away from the house. So at that point, it's like, I mean, what do? You're not gonna get home any faster or slower. So just
Well, you go slow. If you're me, you go slow. Right. So these long runs were all after our trip up to New York. So we had one day back before hitting these long runs. And what we did is we were up in New York for the Cloudsurfer event, and we hung out with Fleet Feet NYC and had for a Thursday night with no event going on. The only thing that's going on is this group run with us. Turnout was amazing.
turnout was awesome.
Yeah, I was a little surprised.
I mean,
Not gonna lie.
I didn't count the heads, but you can see the picture on our Instagram.
It was a few hundred people.
Yeah.
How many pizzas do you think they ordered at the end? I was trying to figure that out.
I don't know, but there was
They had to order from 3 or 4 different pizza places. I know that.
It was probably 30 pizzas.
Yeah.
at least over 500 people RSVP'd.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, geez, if 250 show up, that'll be a good RSVP versus attendance. And I think it was closer to 300 something, maybe
Probably.
400.
And like the weather was kind of iffy, so it could have
Yeah.
gone like either way. But yeah, there tons of pizza afterwards. We had Truly's, all the fancy seltzers,
They had
a bunch of beers.
They had a good array of drinks. They had ranch waters.
Yeah.
They had Coors Light.
They had some specialty beers. There's
Yeah.
one IPA that was just too IPA for me.
Yeah.
But it was
Done.
great. Alex from Fleet Feet made us those nice tie-dye T-shirts. That was cool. And he gave us a hat that he designed.
Yeah. Thanks, dude.
That was rad. Also, Lynn Sanity on Instagram came out. And I always like seeing him. This is like the 3rd or 4th time I've seen him in a shakeout run. It's great.
Yeah, we had a bunch of Believe in the Run fans coming out, so that was cool.
Chris Chung, we did a little thing with him, video. So that was great. And you are supposed to remember a lady's name named Elaine or something.
Elena.
Elena.
Elena?
Alana. Isn't it Alana?
Elena. No, there's 2 E's
See,
in
you
it.
didn't do your job.
I did disclaim that I was not going to remember her name.
Yeah.
But at least I remembered it, but just not how to say it. But then we...
MD Chicken Legs.
Yeah, we're just saying Instagram names
Lou
of people.
Lou. I forget his exact
Yeah,
handle.
Lou America.
Yeah, Lou America.
Just going to keep going.
Yeah, I can just keep throwing names out.
If you want us to mention your Instagram name, just come out to one of our shakeout runs. and
But more than
make
once,
sure we
these
do
are
it.
repeat offenders.
Yeah, they're the
So,
legends.
Like the first time, I'm like, yeah, I'll try to remember your name. The second time you come, I'm like, I got to remember this guy's name. Third time, I'm like, I told myself I had to remember.
I know. It's hard to do because there's a lot of people.
Well, also, I call everybody by their Instagram handles.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Someone at the event said Thomas was good with names.
Oh yeah. Well,
What
that's
kind of shenanigans
it was
is that?
It was Daniel who said that.
Wow.
Never forget Daniel.
Daniel was with Lynn, and they introduced me up front, and I happened to remember his name later on. So I was like, yes, I'm trying to get better at it.
It's hard. It's a really hard thing to do. Especially when you go
in
to
those
different
numbers.
and you go to different locations and people show up at different places. So they're in a different context.
Yeah. Like people are like,
uh,
well, I was at the last shakeout run. I'm like, Boston? They're like, no, the other one. I was like, DC? Well, not that one.
Yeah.
Like,
So that was cool. Except for also the part where I destroyed my On running shirt, which is probably like an $80
Oh,
shirt.
I was laughing way too hard at this story.
I don't, those, the colors and the material just aren't flattering on me. So
You don't like that colorway? I kind of liked it.
I thought it would look great on someone who had a tan. Like for me, it was so close to my actual skin color. It looked like I was like,
Dead.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nice fitting garment. I love the,
It looks like the color
garment.
when you find, like when somebody's in the ocean too long.
yeah, it's a Kardashian color. Like I can totally see the Kardashians having like a full bodysuit made of this.
I guess so.
It's basically skin color.
Wait, the blue one?
The blue one is seafoam.
Yeah, is that the one you're talking about?
I was
No,
talking
the-
about the one.
the one
Oh,
that we
I thought
all
you were
got.
talking about the seafoam one where like that's like the color if you were floating in the ocean for a while.
I think
Like,
I
not
have.
alive.
Did you like? The,
I was thinking the other color is actually what
yeah,
you'll think.
and it does work.
I
Do you? So you ruined your green one.
the seafoam one, yeah.
Do you like? It's still a European cut. I have a medium one. I'll probably never wear. Do you want?
No, I think it was the right size. But anyway, so I was, those very thin athletic shirts, whatever, when you pack them, they get wrinkled within, I don't know, 10 seconds.
But it's made of polyester. They don't wrinkle.
No,
what?
they wrinkle.
No, those ones are the most wrinkly next to silken wares from the Far East. The on shirts are the most wrinkly.
Really? I didn't have that problem.
I don't know.
All right, go ahead.
And
Whips out an iron.
I think I meant to steam dry it because I knew generally don't iron polyester. I usually just steam dry it, but I was in a rush and just threw the iron right down on it and melted a hole straight through the shirt. It's in
Which
the office.
is funny
I'll tell
because
Brandon
it
to take a
had
picture.
to be pretty like delicate or the heat had to be pretty high because we heat press stuff at like 320 degrees
Yeah.
and it's fine.
Oh, I only operate on high heat
You
for
went,
everything.
you went cotton.
Yeah, cotton all the way. I didn't even check the setting. I literally had 2 minutes before I had to be downstairs and I was just like
Melted.
threw it on there. I probably ruined the iron in the process. So
And then you're like going with the tan one now.
yeah. And then it's a big pet peeve of mine when things have fold lines in them from like when they're new.
brand new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just had to deal with it.
Yeah, you can't win with Robbie. You're either wrinkly or you got the fold lines.
Yeah. So
Like Robbie would have you out there with the steamer.
obviously I'm going through a lot of trauma in my life with these types of issues. So plaguing me on a daily basis.
What did you guys think about doing the 2 loops in Central Park?
Made it easier to not get lost.
Yeah. I liked it.
Okay. I don't know. Like I was like,
Oh, because we did 2 1.7 mile loops.
yeah, I was almost like, I like the route where we did the longer,
Yeah.
like just, yeah, it has a hill and everything and that sucks. But
I never even know what's happening because I'm usually talking to somebody and I don't even remember running 2 loops. I guess we did.
I just remember finishing so I ran that morning and then we traveled up there. We walked around with the backpacks. I was kind of tired by the time we got going.
Yeah.
I did the first loop and I was like, I don't really feel like doing the second loop.
I kind of thought the same thing.
Call it a day.
I almost did, but I was
Yeah.
like, they can't be having me all the way up here to do a shake up run. I'm like, 1.7, that's good for me.
I will say, unpopular opinion maybe, and I brought this up with Thomas, but I'm just saying, Meg, Baltimore waterfront along the promenade, 10 times better than Central Park.
Wow.
Here's what I agree with Robbie.
Probably unpopular, but I'm just saying it.
I'm going to say that when the waterfront doesn't smell, like there are times in the summer where you get it
But-
stinky. But yeah, I mean, you get the views. You're right on the water. You get the views. And he's right. You're in the middle of the city. It's not that crowded. It's great. What Central Park has going for it is you look up and you see the skyline of New York, which always takes my breath away.
Yeah, that's awesome. Definitely.
But I for just pure enjoyment of running, I might go with Robbie on the Baltimore waterfront.
I don't hate it.
You can catch the sunrise every
Yeah.
morning.
That's my favorite.
It was
Can't catch
so nice
the
this
sunrise in
morning.
Central Park.
The sunrise was great
Yeah.
along the water.
Yeah. But
You get the sunrise in Central Park. I've seen some beautiful
But-
shots along that little water area.
Yeah, if you run that inner loop along like there's a lake or whatever in the middle there,
But-
or pond.
But
I
is
will
it-
tell you this, the
but
West
it
Side
still comes
Highway-
up behind the building. I mean, like the sunrise on the
Yeah.
horizon kind of thing,
True.
coming over the water.
But like the
Whatever. It's a
the
sunrise.
West Side Highway that you also have there,
Yeah.
Baltimore blows it.
Oh, 100%. It's like I don't even count that as running along the water.
No. I mean, I do like the big ships, but
Yeah. And what was I going to say about that? Oh, and the other thing about Central Park is that there's so many people.
Yeah.
That
And
you're still,
cyclists.
you feel, and the cyclists.
The
freaking
cyclists
out.
get mad at you.
They get real angry.
Is that different from cyclists anywhere? And I am a
No,
cyclist,
it
so I
is.
get it.
Like, that's the thing. Like, I feel like
Except
if you're going to take your bike and be where there's a lot of pedestrians, you got to expect that you're going to have to weave and stuff around.
deal with
them.
idiots
Yeah.
like me.
Well, just like, okay, when we're running on the promenade, even down here, sometimes I get annoyed with people that are walking that do the whole 4-person wide.
Yeah,
The whole
for
thing.
sure.
You're like, but they don't know.
I know.
And I feel like the bike people get all mad at you when you're going.
Okay, that is a nice sunset.
Can I see it? Is this
All
one of your
right,
pictures,
that's
Meg?
pretty nice. I'll give
Yeah.
you credit. Sunset on the or sunrise
Sunrise.
on the in Central Park. Okay,
I think
take
Central
that.
Par-
I take that part back. Anyone who's offended by it,
Yeah.
maybe sunrise defenders.
I don't know if you know this, but the reason we live in downtown Baltimore is because I wanted a good place to run. And not that I was choosing for a different state, but like living in the county, living in the farmland area or whatever. The reason we live where we live is specifically for that waterfront running.
Yeah,
And people say, don't you get bored of it? But it's different as the season changes. It changes. So,
yeah, and you can switch it up anytime you want.
yeah.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. Man, what was I just talking? Oh, the cyclist thing. Yeah, except in Japan, they're very nice there because they'll almost hit
They're
you
very
and they
nice
just move around.
Like all people
Just
are very nice. there.
internalizing that.
So now that we've been to Tokyo, I'm getting my Instagram feed is just
Yeah,
getting
mine
hit
too.
with it hard.
I don't hate that.
I love it. And they sent a suggested post. Robbie and I had talked about the Mario Kart tours. One of the suggested posts was doing the Mario Kart tour. And it was like the point of view of the driver. I sent it to Robbie, and I feel like we missed an opportunity. I think if we go back to Tokyo, we're doing Mario Kart.
Yeah. It looked
Yeah.
like they suspended it for a while because I was reading through the comments because people were like, oh, it's back. And apparently, probably for obvious reasons, they didn't want little go-karts driving into the street. And, but I guess, yeah, it's back for now. So we might have to do that.
I mean, it just looked so much fun.
Yeah.
Looks
And
so much
I don't
fun,
even
Robbie.
care. I don't even care that it's a touristy thing to do.
I don't think it was tourist even.
I'm
It looks pretty touristy.
pretty sure it is.
I don't know. That's as close as I'm getting to Fast and Furious. That's as close as I'm getting to Mario Kart. Like, that's me right there. That's my racing. Like I don't want to go to the Indy track and drive a car 300 miles per hour. I want to go through the streets of a city in a
I agree. I could go with that.
go-kart.
Is Fast and the Furious 10 coming out soon? Is it their 10th one?
Dude, there's got to be
jeez.
like 20 of them by now.
Do you know did I ever admit this fact to you?
Are you a big Fast and Furious fan?
That's the movie I saw most in the theater of any movie ever. The first one.
Wait, you went to it multiple times?
I saw it 6 times in the movie
What?
theater.
Please-
How much money is that?
Please explain
Well,
why.
back in the day, you could do the matinee and all that stuff at AMC.
So you were really into it.
I don't know why I really liked it. I also saw the Star Wars, the first one, like 5 times for
Okay,
some reason.
that's my biggest. The movie I've seen in the theater the most amount of times is Star Wars. And as a child in 1970s,
Well, that makes sense, right?
78
Yeah.
or whenever it was, I saw it 8 times in the theater.
Okay.
Like, and I went on a trip to Boston, and when I got to Boston, I went and saw it in Boston.
Love it.
From California to Boston. And then when they reissued it to theaters as an adult, I went and saw it again. So technically, I've seen
Okay.
it like 9 or 10 times.
I saw the not good one like 5 times, the Jar Jar Binks one.
In the theater?
Yeah, for some reason during this period of my life, which I think was when I was 17 or 18, I just went to a lot of movies all the
surprised.
time.
I could see you working at a movie theater. Like, I could see you being the popcorn guy and seeing, like, I want to see all the films.
Is it because of his mustache?
No, it's because, like, Robbie's had odd jobs. And if he wanted to go to the movies, I could see him being like, it'd be cheaper for me to work there, get the popcorn, and I could go see the movies as much as
It's
I want.
an interesting choice of accent
Yeah.
you just did there.
My best friend who was in the band with me, who we also ran a fireworks tent together for 2 summers,
I thought you were going to say fireworks 10K.
the fireworks tent, when they did it over 4th of July, he did work at a movie theater, so he could get us into the movies and stuff. Like
See, I
that,
knew
but-
he'd have a hookup.
Yeah. So, yeah, I can't believe I still don't know why I watched that movie so many times in the theater. It's a good action movie. Like
Okay, I'm gonna save
it's
you
a
some time.
dumb summer movie, whatever.
If you go to Universal Studios down in Florida, they have a Fast and Furious ride. My boys want to go on it because actually my kids are kind of into Fast and Furious, Theo especially. And so we went on the Fast. It was the worst ride of all the rides.
Did you get to boost the NOS on it?
You do boost the NOS.
Did it feel like it?
Yeah, your little thing goes man and speeds up, but it's they're all virtual now. So you're in like a cart, kind of going through it, and you look over, and there's 3D not Vince Vaughn,
Paul Walker.
no, who's tall?
Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel, and he's over there, and there's cars jumping over you and stuff. But it like compared to the other ones, like the Minion one blew me away. The Harry Potter one was insane.
Yeah.
Maybe they made the Transformers and Spider-Man. The Spider-Man's old as hell.
Yeah.
That one's like 20, 30 years old.
It's still better than Fast and Furious.
Yes.
That's a shame. Man.
It scared the Spider-Man scared Theo.
Oh wow. Was Venom in it?
The Electro's in it at one point, and he jumps on the front of your vehicle.
Right.
And
and you actually get shocked with 500 volts of
you
energy.
would think you are.
That'd be a good idea. Give you a little.
I think they should have used in the movie. They should have used that old Shocker costume more for the character they did with.
Did you ever play that game where the controllers shock you?
Yes, like you had to hold on to two things if you got the answer.
Those were at the movie theaters.
Wait, yeah, that's right. They used to have
yeah.
the console game of that. Yeah. But there's like the you can play with your friends where they have 4 people holding the controllers.
Oh, I didn't do that.
And it's like it goes around. It's like with a timer, and then when it like turns green or whatever, everyone has to press the buttons, and the last person gets shocked.
I like it.
Those things actually like get you pretty good.
So we kind of had that where I was growing up, but it was called an electric fence.
Oh yeah.
So one of my favorite times we were crossing a field on the way home from school, and the bull or whatever that was in that area started coming towards us. So we started running, and it started running after us.
Oh, you got.
So I went to jump over the fence, and I grabbed the fence, and it was an electric fence. And if you know anything about that, your hands clench harder. So I looked over at my friend, and he's getting shocked too. We're both like, ugh, and then did that boom, like we were both on our backs. And the bull never showed up. So we luckily didn't get stomped on. But
Man.
We both got a nice shock that day.
Those will get you for sure. I've been there.
It leaves an impression.
Yeah. Anyway, so
I have another electric fence story, but I'll save it for another day.
Did you piss on one?
I have a friend who didn't think that it would travel up urine, but it does.
It's just so obvious. I know everyone dares you to do it, but I'm like, yeah, clearly it's gonna work.
It happened to Wiley Ellis, and unfortunately, he passed away of some sort of health problem. A couple of years, I found out he passed away, but he was a 4th grade friend of ours.
I wonder why? 'Cause probably pissing on fences all day long.
Well, it was the best. I guess I will tell the story. So we're swimming in this creek, and there's an electric fence near it, and we bet Wiley that electricity will travel up urine and shock him. He's like, "There's no way," and we were like, $10. We'll all throw in $10.
Oh well, and that changes it. Now you're talking.
At that time, well, it's the best. At that time, it was.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, and this is the most closely I've ever stared at a man's. Junk.
Okay.
He
confessions.
He had
to drop.
He had his equipment out in his hand. Starts peeing on the fence, and he looks over and says, "See." And
because he was in between the pulses.
Yeah, when he was doing it, he was going, "See." He didn't even know it yet, but his dick jumped out of his hand, and he was on his back in like a split second. Dude, for a moment he thought he had won, and it was the best. It must have been the greatest moment in my life to watch, being like, "It's coming."
Oh,
it's
man.
like time slowed down.
That's
it was
good.
The best. Yes, yeah. Wiley ended up on his back.
See, kids these days, they don't even know what it's like to get shocked in your junk
or get shot with a BB gun. Like,
all the time.
Same kid. So one of our friends, we used to play this game where we'd take like 1 pumps. The BB guns, and so we'd shoot each other
with the crossman, right? Like a crossman,
right? 1 pump, and we didn't have paint balls back then and stuff, so you just use BBs.
Yeah.
But the rule was you only could use one pump. So my other friend David, he pump and he shot Wiley.
Oh, God.
I bet he still has it under his skin.
No, Wiley went into his house, got a pellet gun, and shot David in the leg, and it lodged into his calf, and he still has the pellet. But yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, you don't want to do one-upsmanship on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
kids with free times with guns.
Oh yeah, with BB. Dude, you could put a BB gun in a kid's hands. There's never a good ending to that.
I would say, yeah. It's there. I've never.
I won't even tell I'll tell you guys later, but I have a weird.
You get hurt with those things. As a parent, I have not purchased any BB guns for my kids.
Yeah. Not yet.
I just did stupid stuff with them.
Yeah. Maybe someday down the road.
So let's talk about the Vaporfly here.
All right. I think there's not mixed opinions, but I think some of us are digging this a little bit more than others.
Yeah, accurate. Nike. It's made by Nike, in case you don't know.
Yeah. Did you see all the little fun details on the tongue, by the way?
I did. I think you should do an Instagram reel highlighting all the little details.
Yeah.
People like that weird stuff.
We do. We get Brandon on that with a good camera.
The one you can write your time, which it's always had a spot to write your time, goal time on, right?
Pretty much. That's been one of the things that's been there. I think it used to be on the midsole.
Did they have it on the back one time?
Numbers? You could. It had the digital, and you could just mark it in.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I love this update. As a matter of fact, I think this brings me back into the Vaporfly family. I thought the Vaporfly Next Percent 2 was not the best update.
So talk to us about what changed.
Okay, so we've got a new fly knit upper, which is super light, super breathable. It fits my foot fine, really well actually. And the gaping that was around the ankle in the other one is gone. They found a way to kind of hook this in so you don't get that gaping, which is really nice, just aesthetic. But it does make you feel a little more locked in.
I feel like normally the upper is my pain point, and I will say it's still not my favorite. Like the tongue, there's a lot to be desired there. But the support around the heel and collar, I feel like, is better.
Did you feel any heel issues?
No, not really.
Okay.
Did you?
Me either.
I kind of did, and I did lace the whole way up and tightened it where it would. I couldn't really do it much more over the foot.
I should give a little update here on the Propel. So I laced it to the top, and it did reduce the slippage quite a bit.
The Propel from last week.
You use the
but I will say it was such a pain in the ass to lace up. Like if they really wanted you to use that hole, first of all, why didn't they lace it up themselves? Second of all, why'd they make it so hard to lace up?
Well, I would say there's a couple good reasons for that. One, it's hard to lace up because no lace has been through that hole yet.
Right.
Two, the other part is when you have to have a box of shoes and people are trying it on, you would have to practically unlace it to get the people
which is also a problem for someone who likes to kick off shoes.
Yeah. So
anyway,
don't kick off the shoes. Let's stick to the topic.
Yeah.
All right. What I do also like about this, I feel like the Zoom, the less rubber on the outsole gives you a better Zoom feeling. And Megan and I have two different opinions on the plate. I feel the plate and I like the way it feels and it helps me get that bounce off the toe. She doesn't feel she can feel the plate.
I just feel like you don't get the harshness of the plate. Like for whatever reason, I feel like the Zoom X, or maybe it's where the plate falls, it just doesn't feel like, sometimes when you wear a carbon plated shoe, it feels harsh and like firm. Whereas, I mean, this is a firm shoe, but I don't know, it feels softer than a typical carbon plated shoe.
I think I kind of feel you on that.
Is that a bad thing?
No. I think it's a great thing. Because you get the pop and the sensation from the plate without the harshness.
I would agree, but I still feel like you sense the plate.
I don't know.
Plate sensitivity.
Yeah.
I would say, so interestingly, I'm looking at it right now, and on the heel, they have the weights of
the different materials.
It says ZoomX rubber and fly plate, and it is different on different sizes.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, because
I thought they would just use a generic
I did too.
size 9 or something.
But unless it's just men's and women's are different
But
because
no, there's a unisex shoe.
oh yeah. So for each size, it says exactly how much the Zoom X weighs, the rubber, and the fly plate.
Yeah.
Which is, I thought it was going to be the same, like a standard for one size.
Yeah.
But like Thomas's is different than yours.
And you know, I've heard some reviewers saying that there's not really an update to the shoe. There's not much to go difference. And I think that this is a case where some of the minor updates really impact it as a whole. The upper being better, I think you can see it's like so airy on the toe. Like that's really going to help, I think. And the way that it's also lost, like, what did I say, ounce-wise? Like
I don't think it's like a tenth of an. It's a little bit less.
It's a little bit lighter.
It's so light though in general.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Like there's not another race day shoe that I would take the marathon that is as light as this one. This is the light race day shoe.
Yeah. Yeah, I wore this on our 16-mile run because apparently you had your pairs, you just didn't know it.
Sitting in our garage for 3 days.
Which was good though, because for Boston, I needed to get the Adidas
Yeah.
miles and see if I liked it.
Yeah. And in pouring rain, it was nice because it's so breathable and the rain doesn't, gather in it or hold into the upper.
Which is an
It's actually
important
kinda
factor
nice.
if you're getting ready for a race.
It's a big deal. Remember that time you weighed the two different shoes and it was
the Flyknit Vaporfly versus the Vaporfly Next %, which was the first Vapor Weave.
right. It was like a few ounces of difference.
Like 2 ounces.
Yeah. Which, if it's a rainy day on race day, that is a big deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I did like the shoe. It's, it is pretty unstable. It's on a relatively narrow platform. It's not a surprise. I mean, the other Vaporfly was similar. I still think, or can I say that?
Yeah. I mean, I've got it right here.
I still think, like for me, I ran my speed workout today in the Hoka Rocket X2, and I think I like that more. I think it's just the feeling of the rocker with the carbon plate. For me, that's my favorite feeling in a racing shoe.
I can see that. And I can also see the platform being wider.
A lot wider.
Yeah.
More stable. Kind of. I think this is more of a, like the Rocket X2 for me, you can just cruise at a faster pace where the Vaporfly is more of a dart. It's just like so.
I was telling Thomas, like in my first run, I just did easy miles in the Vaporfly, and I was like, I wonder if this will replace the Alpha Fly. But I feel pretty confident that this would be my like 13.1 and under shoe.
That's kind of how I felt.
See, and
I mean, not saying you can't take it to the marathon, but
Right.
just personally.
I don't know. Like I'm thinking, one of the things that I start to notice as I get deeper into miles and my legs are more tired is the weight on the shoe. So that's probably where
that's true.
I would probably go Vaporfly over the Hoka just because I feel like you have a similar feel, and I'll hand it to Hoka. This is a phenomenal shoe, but I think the cushioning is a similar feel. But with this one being almost an ounce lighter, I'm gonna go with the Vaporfly Next %3.
All right.
And I mean, it's a gorgeous looking shoe. Like,
Okay, unpopular opinion here. I hate the
Okay,
colorway.
it is a very divided.
I don't like it.
So for the podcast,
you
it's
would like the white one.
Yeah, if you gave me that all white proto,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
So for those listening, it's like a pink and orange.
So tequila sunrise.
Orange creamsicle type thing.
Here's what I love about it. Like I said, in low light, it just shines.
Yeah, I love it too. I don't know what
It looked like
deal
fire
is.
on it. You know how the sunrise is? It's basically a sunrise. It's got the yellow and the pinks.
I was thinking that like it literally matched the sunrise this morning.
Yeah. And so when I was in the rain, I was like, there's Robbie. I was like, just follow the sunrise.
Follow the bright lights.
Yeah, follow the bright lights.
Yeah, so apparently this comes out April 1st. I don't know if that's
I think
for
some
real.
people are already getting it like pre-order on Running Warehouse. I don't know.
Oh, well, you can only get it on, did you know that? On Running Warehouse is not selling it. You can only get it through signing up for pre-order.
What is that? Oh, so it's not, you're not. buying it. You're pre-ordering it.
Right. You can't, it won't be for sale on the website. You have to do the registration process and reserve your pair. Like, it's a weird.
Oh.
Interesting.
Yeah. I saw they sent out a thing yesterday or something because it said will not be available for purchase through literally every way that Running Warehouse sells a shoe. You can only do it through their.
Do you think that this is going to be hard to get?
I mean, it appears so. Is this like a thing that Nike does?
Yeah.
Are they, is P-back
Supply
slow
and demand.
or is it just a thing Nike does?
Well, I don't know. I feel like we're past that with the Vaporfly. I think you're going to be able to get it. I think you may not be able to get the color you want, but they're coming out with the Proto and this at the same time.
But people in Europe were having issues with it.
Yeah.
Getting their orders canceled.
I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe it is a supply thing, but I also think the demand for this shoe is pretty high. Like, regardless of what we'll say in a review, there are people that will say that we were like, this is a horrible shoe. There would be hundreds of thousands of people, I think, that would buy this shoe just on
hundreds of thousands.
Is that a lot?
That seems like too many.
Okay. Yeah.
Thousands and thousands.
That's better.
That sounds better.
That are going to go for the shoe. I mean, I've been kind of skeptical on the Vaporfly, and I've been definitely in the Alpha Fly house, at least with the original. And I was like, what's changed? Not much. It's not putting this on and doing my speed work in it today. Once I dialed in the pace, I just felt like it rolled really well.
Bangarang.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's still a great shoe, no doubt. So
I
guess
both.
it depends what you're looking for.
I do think that it's a narrow margin between the Hoka and this. And like I said, where I'm going to come in on it is weight. And I think this has definitely enough cushion for me to do the marathon. So like when you say half and down, I disagree with that. But yeah, that's it.
All right.
So anything else we got going on as far as... you need to read a review, Meg.
Okay.
Yeah, and we also have Cherry
Blossom. So yeah, if this is kind of a tight turnaround, but if you're in the DC area and you're hearing this tomorrow, Saturday, we
doing
April 1st,
run.
we're doing a shakeout run.
Pacers in Georgetown, and it's going to start at 10 a.m. So that's plenty of time.
Oh, it starts at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Nice. That's a good time. And then we're running the Cherry Blossom 10-mile race, of course.
Yep. On the Sunday, we're going to it's going to be cool because we have like a whole contingency of Believe Run Club and Faster Bastards.
And hopefully a lot of you will be there.
Yeah. It's such a beautiful run. Like, you do get to see the best parts of DC.
Yeah, I've actually not done this race before, so.
You're in
It's
for a
the
treat.
best. It's a good one.
All right.
This is one of those iconic, I think Falmouth, this one, there's a few iconic runs that I think that are under the marathon distance that you have to add to your.
And there's like $70,000 of prize money on the table.
For Cherry Blossom?
Yeah.
Oh. So who's running it as far as pro? Sarah Hall?
Susanna Sullivan's coming back. She won it last year, I believe. Nell Rojas, Sarah Hall. Those are the main names I know. Paige Stoner.
That sounds like a name
Diana
from
Curry.
Dazed and Confused.
Mm-hmm.
Diana Curry. What about on the dude side?
I don't know those guys, but Emmanuel Bohr, Hillary Bohr, Ben Flanagan.
No, Enrico Montañez.
Ben Flanagan.
I don't think so. But yeah, so it should be a stacked field. I mean, it's always a fast race, but I think this is the 50th anniversary, so I think they're kind of going big.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't seen that anywhere, but maybe I just haven't been looking.
Maybe you haven't been looking.
I think that's the likely.
Okay, should we read this review? Have I read this one? It says your mom will love it.
I don't think
Yeah.
so, but I was thinking you should read it.
Okay, so this is from Scott K2. Again, titled Your Mom Will Love It, 5 stars. It says, is your mom a runner? Doesn't matter. She'll love the banter between the Believe in the Run crew on the drop. Who knows? Maybe she'll pick up a pair of Alpha Fly 2s, sorry Megan, and throw down a marathon or lace up some Max Road 5s for an easy run and stop to do a little dumpster diving with Robbie. Perhaps she prefers something with a little less drop and reaches for a pair of the latest Convara to nail that PR like Thomas. Don't get the references? You would if you listened. It's like fuel for the soul while putting down those training miles. Snuck in another one.
Very nice.
You did PR in the Convar, right?
Yeah, I did originally.
That's good. That's a deep cut.
That's
there.
your marathon PR.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is my marathon PR.
All right.
That's how old my marathon PR is compared to.
Scott, that was a solid review.
Yeah.
Scotty.
Yeah.
And I think your mom would like it.
Yeah, my mom likes it,
Yeah.
but it might just be because she's my mom.
Yeah. Which we're at that point where we can say, hey, thanks to Brandon for producing this week's podcast. Thanks for ASICS and Pacers for hosting our shakeout run down in DC this week. Anybody else you want to thank?
The listeners.
Oh, how about on Cloud for the great and Fleet Feet NYC for the great get together last week, and can't wait to see our New York friends again soon. That was awesome. Really, thanks for everybody who came out.
Yeah.
We love seeing you people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep coming. Keep showing up.
All right.
All right, that does it. Peace. I don't say peace and carrots
Nope,
on
that's
this one.
the other one.
Just peace out.
Bye.
Bye.